We're now back in the DMT classroom where the post-production activities go on for any production that is done in the studio. And we have someone here working on our broadcast now. Who's with us today?
I'm Ashley Caswell, and I go to Marine City High School.
Okay, Ashley, here we are doing some post-production. So tell us some of the software and some of the things you need to do to complete the whole project in the post-production phase.
Well, some of the programs we use is Final Cut Pro, and then we have After Effects, and you can just create a lot of really nifty effects. Like, it's just really awesome, like being able to do stuff like this at a high school level.
This is probably one of the areas in video production where you can really be creative, isn't it?
Oh yes, this is my favorite part because you can just let your imagination go wild and do anything you want. Because anything on here, anything's possible with this program.
Does post-production take quite a bit of time for any video production?
Sometimes it does if you don't have it planned out, but if you have a pretty straightforward idea of what you want, it goes pretty smoothly unless programs quit or you need to reshoot something.
And what do you find is the most challenging part of the post-production phase?
The most challenging part is sometimes your clips, they don't work properly, or like equipment malfunction. Like, let's say you're filming and then turns out you weren't really filming because it didn't record, and you have to go back and re-record everything. And then sometimes it just gets really tedious because you're trying to match things up and it doesn't work. You just got to take a step back and calm down.
But this is the place where everything all comes together to a final product.
Yes, and at the end, most of our projects look really clean and awesome.
Great. One of the other things that they do in the digital media technology program is a lot of graphic design. So let's go over and take a look and see what they need to do in the graphic design part of DMT. Another aspect of the DMT program is graphic design, and joining me now is Valerie Shaman. Valerie, what school do you go to?
I go to St. Clair High School.
So Valerie, tell us a little bit about what you do with the graphic design part of DMT.
Well, in DMT, we practice mostly on Photoshop, and once you get the hang of it, it's easy to learn, and you can just let go of all your creativity and just express it in whatever you want and create whatever you want.
Do you have to have a little bit of an artist flair, or is it just allowing those juices go as with me?
Some ideas. It just find some inspiration and you can make something crazy.
So show me a little bit of some of the things that you've been able to create in this class.
Well, I'm a big photography buff, and I took a picture of my friend here and I added a background, and she was actually in front of there's a black background behind her. Okay. And I added people behind her, and so made it look real. And then I made an album cover, like an 80s theme. Mm-hmm. And it's best if you're into photography, you can edit your photos and make them look amazing. Like, this is a picture I have taken and edited in Photoshop. So
now, as part of the class too, you do get to learn how to do digital photography, right?
Right. They teach you everything you want to know about photography, and we have great selection of cameras, Nikons and Canons and Lumix and so many different things, and they teach you how to everything about them you can learn. You don't even have to know anything about photography. Just come in, they teach you everything.
Did you know much about Photoshop and the technical part of things that you're doing before you began this class?
I didn't at all. I didn't know one thing about Photoshop, but I really wanted to learn. So I just came in and they taught me everything I wanted to know, and I'm a pro now.
What do you hope to do with the skills you've learned here?
I hope to create things and maybe make some money.
There you go. DMT program is one of the newer programs here at St. Clair TEC. So when we come back, we're going to have the opportunity to meet one of the students who was in the early part of the program. So don't go away. Welcome back to Technically Speaking. Another one of my favorite parts of the program is when we get to meet some of the alumni who have attended classes here at TEC. And today, joining me now from the Digital Media Technology program is Megan McEntee. And Megan, welcome to the program.
It's great to be here.
So now that you graduated from the DMT program a few years ago, what are you doing today?
Well, right now I'm attending Columbia College in Chicago. I've been there since I graduated, and I'm studying television, concentrating on post-production and effects.
Okay. How did your time at the DMT program here at Tech help prepare you for what you're doing today?
Well, I really can't say enough about the program here at Tech. I came here when I was a junior, and I basically got an introduction into everything related to television production and radio, as well as some web design and everything like that. And it really helped me focus on what I like doing, and gave me some great knowledge to take with me when I went to Columbia after that. And I really felt like I had a step up in terms of what I knew or my background on certain things that really helped me.
Now, do a lot of the students that you have in your program, do they have a similar type of background, or is this kind of unique?
In some ways, it's really unique because I don't think as many people have that type of background where in high school they kind of got into all this. Some did have like a television production type class, but when you think about tech, you're here for 3 hours out of the day, and you really get into some of the things, like some of the software, or in the studio working with everything like that. And I don't think a lot of kids got that.
Are there specific types of programs that you're working on over there, like you do here? You do a lot of project things. Do the same type of thing there at Columbia?
Sure, yeah. I've taken, you kind of have to start over regardless to kind of level the playing field. Mm-hmm. So I had to take an introduction, like a television production class, and I was able to take a lot of what I learned here and apply it. I mean, sure, you're going to learn more, and it's they get into more extensive things, but I really felt like I had a leg up in terms of what I learned here, or the experiences I had here in terms of practicing with projects. Like I can remember we did like a music video project, or we did Skills USA and things like that, and just having that type of experience was incredible to take with me.
When we talked to the instructor Keely Baraboo a little earlier in the program, one of the keys she mentioned is not just teaching the students specific skills related to TV production and digital media, but the teamwork and that cooperative spirit that you need to have. Do you find that that's really important for what you're doing today too?
Oh yeah, of course. Like I said, the first class I took in the television department when I went to Columbia, it was a studio class, and you're working with people, you're taking turns going through each job and working with everyone to make a whole production happen. And that's exactly what I did here. When we were working the studio for, we took a few weeks to just learn the studio and everything like that, and it's the exact same routine actually. We would go through and go to each different position, and everyone would keep learning, and and the next time when someone hadn't done something before but you had, you're kind of teaching them how to do it, and they're learning from you and you're learning from them, and it's a really great environment.
What were some of the favorite things you did while you were here in the DMT class?
Like I mentioned earlier, I had a lot of fun with the different projects that we did, and we had a lot of fun helping each other out with the different projects. There were, like the music video project comes to mind, or the radio projects that we used to do here. I don't know if we still do the same projects or not, but and I have to say Skills USA was really fun, that we took from the classroom and went out and kind of worked together on that. That was a lot of fun. But everything comes back to working together to learn the different things that you learn here, and also just being able to experience that. It was just such a great experience.
What are some from your experience here at Tech and the DMT program and what you're going through at Columbia, what are some of your career goals now?
Well, really what I want to end up doing is working for like a post-production house, hopefully somewhere in Chicago maybe. I'll go wherever the work is, of course.
Sure.
But, and I was able to, when I first came here, really get experience with the types of software, types of programs that you might use out there in the real world. When I first came here, first of all, we didn't have any of the Macs. When I first came here to kind of take a look at the program, it was all PCs, and they were all using Adobe Premiere. And then eventually we started going over to the Macs, and we started using Final Cut. And I had a lot of experience with Final Cut that I don't think a lot of students had when they first came to college or, to the program. And so I was able to use that to kind of help myself out in getting through the projects, because that's a huge step. So eventually, after I graduate, I'd like to use, the knowledge that I first learned here and learn more extensively as I went through, and kind of become an editor at anything, like I said, some type of post-production house.
If a parent came up to you and said, why should my son or daughter come to Tech, and specifically the digital media technology program, what would you tell them?
Well, one of the things I think is great about Tech, and why I had such a good experience here, is that you really get to focus on what you like to do. And like any program at Tech, people are coming here and they get to try out new things and see if they really like it. And you might get lucky and find out that you really do love it. And so then you can go on from that. And if that's the case, then you can pretty much do anything with it. And so the DMT program, I think, was really great for me, because I had some experience, when you're a kid and used to play with my video camera and make little movies and whatever, but you're not going to know unless you really get that experience, and Tech allows you to do that.
Okay, great. Well, Megan, we want to thank you for being part of the show today, and we wish you all the best with your goals there at Columbia and Chicago.
Thank you.
And if you'd like to learn more about the digital media technology program here at Tech, be sure to visit our website at sctech.org. Thanks for joining us on this edition of Technically Speaking as we celebrate 35 years of St. Clair Tech. We hope you've enjoyed this look into the digital media technology program, and we'd like to thank the instructor, Keely Baraboo, and her students. And don't forget to check out St. Clair Tech's website at sctech.org. We hope to see you next time on Technically Speaking.